Good morning, and welcome to Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. Well, I wanted to continue to record these pansies, because they are so beautiful. And soon as the weather continues to get hot and drier, I know that they're not going to look as beautiful as they are looking right now. I just like how this area has turned out. And these drumstick alliums, I don't know if you can really see them. They're going to be bursting open soon. It's good to have different types of alliums in your garden, and I'm really going to look out for more of them. I purchased them at Costco over the years, and now I have the benefit of having them spread and seed. They seed, but they also spread with the bulbs in the bottom, because they're bulbs, and they multiply that way. I'm interested in propagating as much as I can, and I love the idea of having repetition in the garden. So that is why these purple Perilla plants are so important to the garden, because one, they add some variety and color, and two, they self-seed. And one of the things that I'm able to do is to transplant them into different parts of the garden where there is a lot of green. I'm able to move them and shift them around, and they grow to a good 2 feet or so, 2.5 feet or so, and make a nice shrub and a good companion plant to the annuals. It's also edible. And the purple Perilla was given to me from a gardening friend that I'd met, a person that I met at the local garden plot. And she gave me just 1 or 2 of those purple Perilla seed starts, like that. And the rest is history. I just have to show you my geraniums. I am so pleased with these geraniums. These were my saved geraniums from last year. I had these plants last year, and I shook off the dirt, stored them in a dark place, boxed them up, and stored them in a dark place, and now look at them. They're taking center stage here in the garden and looking so beautiful. I love the combinations of the two of them together, the pink and the white, and I'm glad that they're standing out on their own. They're going to get huge because this is just the beginning of the season, so I may have to up-pot them into a larger container. It's a pot within a pot, and that container I got last year, the ceramic pot, I got that last year from Ocean John Blot, and they have such a great selection of ceramic gardening pots. I'm going to have to check them out again and see what I can get to add to the garden. Just a beauty. I'm so glad I put these plants here. And when I'm going to store them for next year, it's going to be easy because they're all together. They're in one pot. I can easily separate it or keep them together. and store them again for the following year. I just love this. Pretty. I finally decided what I'm going to put in these containers, my white containers. Well, I have the cannas from last year that I saved, and they are now growing up and looking so good here. So I decided to put the cannas in the pots here in this bed, and they will grow up and add some height to this bed. The other thing is that those white pots don't have any holes in them, and cannas love water, so when it rains it will be able to contain the water, and the cannas will be happy here in this kind of like bog-like condition. So I transplanted these iris here, and they look like they're rooted in very well. That's a good thing. My lilies are growing really tall and looking good in this bed. It just so happened that I have two of these pots. These pots, the plastic pots, were here I've had them for a while. And this one I put in the canner also, and now it's just starting to shoot up. So we'll have to wait and see what happens with this one. But I'm glad to see some life in it, and hopefully it will fill out like the other one. I'm gonna have to do some weeding here. Yeah, so I think this is gonna look really pretty here. The both of them together. My tomatoes are starting to flower, which is good. So that means that I'm going to have tomatoes real soon. These are the Roma tomatoes that I planted here, as well as the Jet Star tomatoes. I also planted the 100s and the Sun Gold. I think it's Sun Gold tomatoes as well. So they look very happy. They are getting larger. It just looks good. I also planted here corn, and this is so good. I have 3 successions of corn, or layers of corn. Over there in the corner, you can see the corn stalks that I first planted out in there. They look very happy. Then I planted these here, and they're coming up. They seem to just catch themselves. I interplanted them with squash, actually pumpkin. I think that's pumpkin, the porcelain pumpkin. So we're going to fill out those corn. Need to hurry up before they get overtaken by the squash. And then I seeded out some more corn. And they are coming up now. Now this corn, the new corn is from seeds. They're from seeds that I saved last year, of corn that I'd grown last year in the garden. And then I planted out some more patty pan and other winter squash here. We're going to have a lot of squash. I also finally planted my bush beans, garden beans, in this. And hopefully they will come up. I know they will. And we will have the beans in front. I didn't put it in the bed because it's just going to be too full. So I think that in the container, the bush beans will grow and have more space. It'll be easier for me to harvest them. So this is what this looks like so far. I'm very pleased with this. I am happy to report that my collard greens and cabbage are doing very well here. The marigolds, I think, are really helping them out. And I also transplanted some of the spring mix, the microgreen spring mix that I had on the other side. I planted out some of the little seedlings and I've put them underneath, and that way, because this is a little bit more shaded location, that they'll be able to grow up and I will still be able to eat these salad greens. But right now they're doing well. I also planted some tomatoes there with them, and I think I'm going to add my basil here in this spot here. I have some basil seedlings that are coming up, and actually this is cinnamon basil that I winter sowed here, and they look happy, so I think the basil will look good here. I have regular basil, and I also have some cinnamon basil, some more cinnamon basil, so that's what I think I'm going to plant in this spot with the kale and the cabbage. And see my cabbage? I grew these cabbage from seed. These three. 1, 2, 3. The kale I got from my gardening friend, my gardening grower. And the kale are happy as well. I think this is marjoram, and this came back from last year in this container. Looking really, really good. This looks really good. My tomatoes. I don't know, I see some kind of like white flies flying around. So I don't know what I'm going to do. It's going to rain, and I think the rain will wash it away. I think those white flies are from the my plum tree. I could see actually a ladybug there. I think the aphids have just been attacking the plum trees, and I had a lot of plums, and now I don't even see. I'd see maybe 1 or 2 up the tree, but anyway, that's part of gardening. I'm going to have to continue to spray each year, and hopefully finally my plums will survive the bugs. I went to the garden center and I picked up some of these stones, stepping stones here, And I think that this looks really good, and it makes it easier to move around in this bed. So I'm going to get some more of them. And it looks good. I am so excited because my elephant ears coming back from last year. I saved the bulbs from last year and they are returning. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And I am so happy with my little rose bush. I bought this rose, this miniature rose from the supermarket around Mother's Day last year. And it's a bug. Anyway, it is so pretty, growing up so well. It has its own root, therefore it's able to come back each year. I had 2 of them or 3 of them, but this one has definitely found its spot and is doing very well here with these stilby. I would love to get a rose like this in the regular size, not the miniature, but the large size. I think it's so pretty. As you can see here, my red brick house rose really suffered. It was a hard winter, and look at it. It's sad, sad. But my canna's coming back. So I've decided to put the canna there, and the canna leaves will grow up and will shade that. And then these cosmos are from last year. I planted out wildflowers here in this bed, and the cosmos came up. And this is so beautiful. It seeded itself back here. And I'm just so happy to see the beautiful flower. Now these alliums, they are finished, but they look so pretty with the garden here. And just mixes so well with these cosmos. And these blue bachelor buttons, this is from last year. They self-seeded. So the blue, that's going to be so pretty. The blue and the pink like that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I have here some of my zinnias that I seeded and planted in, and now they are going to flower soon. That's going to be pretty with the roses. Lamian is almost finished. Now this is my new rose bush that I just bought. Brenda Bella. Pretty. It's going to look gorgeous. Different things are coming in and going out, but it's all blending in nicely. I really love the garden this year. I love this patch. This is my favorite, as you can tell, because I'm always talking about it. Showing this to you. Oh, I planted one of the 4 o'clocks here, and hopefully it will come up and make a nice bush. And then this is dragon tongue, I think it is dragon tongue herb balm, and that's from the bottle seeding. And these bachelor buttons reseeded themselves here. I didn't plant these. My fig tree's doing really well. You know the fig trees that I started from last year in the house? Yep, they are loving it out here now. That's one, and here's the other one back there. Everything is just doing really well. What I did with this spirea, I'm going to have to cut back this spirea so that it can make room for my hydrangea. A limelight, little lime, something like that. And you can also see the sedum there too as well. So what I'm going to do is trim. I've already started to trim this back. I just love the flowers. And yes, they're starting to create some new flower blooms. But if you cut it back, shear it back, then it will be a little bit more smaller and tidier. This spirea, which is just beautiful. And we have here my oak leaf hydrangea. Look at it. Beautiful, beautiful. And the canna that I bought last year, and now it's returning. I saved it. The elephant ear. These are strawberry plants that I just want to spread. I want this whole area to be filled with the strawberry plants. My Love Lies Bleeding is about to flower. Look at that. Yeah, I planted these by seed. The bottle method, I use the winter sowing bottle method. And this is so pretty. I love the colors. It looks really great with the spirea here. And also with the chamomile. Now this chamomile self-sowed on its own. I didn't plant it here, but it just plays well with everything. Looking so good. I believe that this is either I'm not sure what this is, but I know that it's self-seed from last year, and I'm thinking that it's either forget-me-nots, or it may be my verbena. If it is the verbena, I'm going to be so happy. If it's the forget-me-nots, that's fine too. Because the blue, I think that bluey color will look good. Now these Johnny Jump Ups are self-sowed themselves in here. Isn't that pretty? My Pinkabell Rose bush is coming into bloom. So this side is going to have a lot of color. So if you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below. And let me know what you think of my garden, and what areas you like the most. And yeah, come and join me here at Catherine's Garden and Home, where we grow together. And you'll be able to see how my garden continues to develop over time. Right now it's just looking very, very nice. I love this transitioning. I love how this looks. Beautiful. So I hope it gives you a little peace, and I hope that you enjoyed this garden tour. Now this is not all of the garden, part of the garden. Yeah, so come back for more. See you soon. Bye. For more videos, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching. See you next time right here in Catherine's Garden. Bye.